طيب أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. We took the first legal maxim, which was what? Easy. Huh? We took the first one only last time. الأعمال الأمور بمقاصدها أو إنما الأعمال بالنيات. Yes? طيب. A man set an endowment, a house for an endowment for fi sabilillah. This endowment was gone for whatever reason. Does the man still get the reward for it or not? مثلا a house collapsed. Why? The endowment no longer exists. The endowment is a waqf. You said it for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the rest of life. Endowment is a waqf for the rest of the life. You say, I set up this car, this house, this building to be a masjid. So you cannot sell it, you cannot gift it, you cannot, take it down unless there is a necessity or a need. We could talk about that in fiqh. So this person is getting rewarded because إنما الأعمال بالنيات. Yes? طيب. A man got rewarded because he left his clothes in the balcony to remove the impurity. How? طيب, let's go back to another question. Easy question first. We're doing questions now for the people who are online with us. If you have any question, you could ask or answer, inshallah. A person had impurity on his clothes. Okay? Major impurity in his clothes. He has to wash it off. This man left his clothes outside of the house. Rain came down, washed it off. The cloth is pure or impure? Because he didn't have niyyah. Huh? No? There's no need for niyyah because the action itself, tarku shay. We said to remove something or to move out something, okay, or to leave out something, either you do not need what? An intention. But how could he be rewarded for removing impurity if he says what? He knows that there is rain or there possibility of rain that comes down, so he leaves his clothes outside. In case rain comes, it will wash it off. So if rain comes down, this cloth will be pure and also he will be rewarded for. Yes? A man told his wife that you're like my mother. What's the ruling? Yeah, people who didn't come last time, I know you'll be surprised. We took that. We only took one thing, little statement, but it took us 2 hours. Dhihar. What is dhihar? Dhihar is to say to the wife that you are like my mother or like my sister. Okay? Meaning that she is haram for him to touch or have intercourse or any of that. Okay? Which is haram to do. And if he does that, what should he do? What's the kaffara? He frees a slave. If he can't, he fasts 2 months. If he can't, then he feeds 60. Mujadala, Surah Al-Mujadala. So, understand that? طيب. A person says to his wife, you're like my mother. What's the ruling? Let's wait, let's see the sisters if they were awake last time. They took all the perfume and they didn't answer. Bismillah, what do you guys think? What do you think? Huh? I don't know. We need to ask him. Huh? Lafz wadih. So Justin is saying that the statement is explicit, is clear. Huh? He should be asked for his intention. I like that. I would disagree with Justin, even though we're both Malikis. But we have to ask him for his intention. he meant you're like my mother, meaning you're kind and loving and the word came out as to praise her, or the word came out to say that she is like his mother in a sense that she's forbidden upon him. So this takes a completely different rulings now, even though the statement is what? Explicit. Yes? Because this statement, with it being clear, it carries more than one meaning. But if he tells her that she was divorced, then what do we say? خلاص. طيب, what if he says visit or go to your parents' house? Or let me get you the one that you guys like more. He says, if you go to your mother's house or your father's house, you're divorced. If you ride my car, you're divorced. If you take my watch, you're divorced. If you take my phone, you're divorced. Now, is she divorced? Why not? Huh? We need to find out what he meant. Huh? Was he just threatening her, or was he really saying that as a form of divorce? That goes back to his intention. Yes? Yes, it's very explicit, but it's called talaqun mashroot. This is very important. It's a conditional divorce. If he places it on a condition, so if he says to his wife that she was divorced, she is divorced even if he's joking. خلاص? If he says to his wife a condition divorce, if you do that, now we have to come back to the condition. Clear? The condition divorce different from the explicit divorce, even though the use of divorce is very clear. Okay. The last thing we took last time was this right here. Yeah. Who was not here from the sisters? Huh? Okay. Bismillah. Give me $500. What's the ruling now? No, she has to give me $500. I gave her a gift. I gave her something. I gave it to her. I say, here it is. Take it. Now I'm asking her to give me $500 for it. Does she have to give it or not? Be careful. Now this is fiqh. This is usul. When you're using the qawa'id, don't say yes or no. You have to know how to use the qa'idah. Huh? Yes. Okay. ممتاز. ما شاء الله, you get another. معلش, give it to somebody else. I don't know what. طيب. We have something else that we didn't discuss. Maybe we forgot to discuss. النية في العمل الذي نهايته متصلة ببدايته. An action that the ending of it is connected to the beginning of it, and an action that has parts of it that they all connect to the beginning of it. So the end connects to the beginning. I know, it's confusing. No problem. Wudu is one action, correct or incorrect? Anybody who took perfume last time is going to give it back. That's it. Wudu is one action? Yeah? Really? What is it? What do you do? Then it's multiple action, not one action. You cannot say it's one action, it's multiple action. Which one? You have to choose one of the two. Multiple or one? One action? Atil perfume. One action? Wudu is one action or multiple actions? Yes. It is an action that is to fulfill, has multiple actions. Okay, correct. So it is multiple actions that leads to one action. Now, those multiple actions are all different. You're washing your face, arms, head, feet. Now, all these actions are connected to lead to one action or not? Yes? So the ending of it has to be completed for the beginning to be correct. So you need one intention only for it. So if an action has multiple, listen to this please. If an action has multiple actions, then the ending of it depends upon the beginning. So the beginning needs what? One intention. يعني one intention means what? You don't have to make an intention for the face and then your hands. لا خلاص, one intention is good, because even though there are multiple actions, but at the same time they're all connected. Tawaf. Huh? Multiple actions that leads to one action, one tawaf. Okay? طب صيام Ramadan. This actually supports the Maliki madhab or the other madhab? What do we say in the Maliki madhab for Siyam intention? We need one intention for the whole month or one intention every day? One for the whole month. Why? Because we say it's multiple actions, okay, that leads to one action. The other madhab says no, hold on. It's multiple actions that does not lead to one action. I'll tell you why. Because if you guys break in the middle one day, you don't say the rest of, يعني مثلا somebody falls sick on the 10th of Ramadan, he ate or drank, or she ate and drank, and then they continue on. This person has to make up one day or 1 month? One day. So they say if it was connected to the beginning, then he has to make up all of it. Like someone making wudu, for example. Before they wash their feet, they use the bathroom again. Now, this person has to make up all the wudu again? Or can he just do the feet? It's all the wudu again. So even though it's multiple actions, but they all do what? Connect to one. Siyam is not. Siyam is not. So their madhab is stronger than the Maliki when they use this fundamental. They use this qaida. Okay? You understand that? Yeah, we could argue on other things, but I'm talking about this fundamental right now. Okay? طيب, Hanafi brothers, especially. The Ahnaf do not require intention for actions. Correct or incorrect? Depends on the action. Okay, more explanation, please.
Like, for example, like we said, like for wudu, right? Because what are you doing wudu for?
So you're giving me example. I need to set a foundation, so it makes it easier than an example.
The conditions of an action doesn't need an intention. Like, for example, like wudu is the condition for the prayer, so wudu doesn't need an intention.
So they say the means to the actions do not need an intention, because the mean itself is an intention. I am making wudu to pray. So there is a mean to the action. Do I need an intention for salah? Yes, they will say yes. But do I need an intention for tayammum?
Yes.
How is tayammum different from wudu? Because tayammum is one action that could be done for both different ibadah, ghusl or wudu. So here I have to differentiate between both levels. No, because wudu is for salah. If you have minor impurity, you do wudu. ماشي. لا. The wudu itself. Why do you make wudu? Because of minor impurity. Why do you do ghusl? Because of major impurity. طيب. Why do you do tayammum? Because of minor and major. So they don't differentiate. لا, you have to have the intention that you're removing a major impurity with tayammum, or else it doesn't work. يعني مثلا, if somebody has major impurity and they cannot find water, okay, they need to do ghusl. صح? لا, I'm talking about major impurity. You have major impurity. Okay? How can he remove it with tayammum? Huh? لا, same way he makes it with wudu. What differentiates between both tayammum? Because tayammum is one form, but wudu and ghusl are two forms. We're not talking about what they're doing it for. We're doing what they're doing it, the reason they're doing it for. ماشي؟ مش صلاة والقراءة لا. We're talking about wudu itself. Okay? Wudu cannot remove major impurity. You agree or disagree? Yes? Okay, good. So you need ghusl. طيب, tayammum. I'm going to do tayammum both ways, the same way, for wudu or for ghusl, in a replacement. So in this case, I need to specify that this tayammum is for wudu or this tayammum is for ghusl. Because tayammum only has one form. Like in wudu and ghusl are completely different forms. Is that clear now? Yeah? النية intention, النية intention أجدى من العمل. Intention could be more beneficial than an action. Can someone give me an example for that? Huh? ماشي. ماشي. Okay, but what's an example? Someone wants to do something and he dies before it is. Okay. So intention is more valuable than the action means what? Means that when you're doing an intention, increase your intentions for your actions. If you're not able to fulfill the actions, then at least you get the reward of the intention. The Prophet ﷺ said, whoever intends to do something good and something prevents him from doing it, it will be written for him as something good, as a hasana. And if he does it, it will be multiplied to 10. And if someone intends to do something bad, and something prevents him or he doesn't do it, then it will not be written as a sin. But if he does it, it will only be written as one sin. Alhamdulillah. Because if sin was multiplied, then it will be gone by now. طيب, let's move on inshallah. Bismillah. Naam. Yes.
So, for you said actions which have multiple actions need only one intention. You said, and then you can do they use it first?
Ramadan.
Is that what they use?
Yeah, that's one of them. One of the reasons. Okay, let's read this one inshallah. Number 12. Ready? Number 12. قال الدين مبني على المصالح في جلبها والدرء للقبائح. 12, 13, 14. If you have the poetry, I don't know why most of you don't have it still, but I send it multiple times. Anyway, Bismillah. It's easier to follow. الدين مبني على المصالح. Religion, this is principle number 2 now. Okay? That the religion is based on beneficial interest. Okay? في جلبها, when establishing that, while repelling the evil. So religion is built on 2 things. Bringing benefit and preventing evil. جلب المصالح ودرء المصالح. The whole religion is based on this fundamental. Believe it or not. The whole deen of Allah. If you don't understand this today, then we cannot move forward. Aslan, you cannot call people to Allah without this fundamental. You call people to Allah to bring in benefit and to prevent harm. And if you're gonna do it and it's gonna bring harm, then you shouldn't do it. So the whole deen is built on this fundamental. Izz ibn Abdul Salam alayhi rahmatullah ta'ala, and Ibn Taymiyyah and others, they said that all the deen is built on this fundamental to use. Bring in benefit, preventing harm. Okay? So this is number 2 in your paper. تجلب المصالح وتدرأ المفاسد. Okay? He said benefits are pursued and harms are averted. So to bring benefit or to prevent harm. What's the one we have today? So the first one will be what? First one. What's the first fundamental we took? Oh my God, what's going on with you guys today? Here you go. Bismillah, perfume. Bismillah. Just a gift. I just remember you. That's fine. I just want to wake you guys up. I don't know how. Perfume will smell good. Okay, Bismillah. First one is what? All actions are by intention. So without intention, your action is not valid. If a person enters Salah and he does not remember whether it's Dhuhr or Asr, what should he do? Surah. What should he do? He has to leave the Salah. Why? Because he cannot start the intention after the action. It has to be before the action. A person wakes up in Ramadan and he says, tomorrow, I will fast if it's Ramadan. and then he wakes up and they tell him it is Ramadan. His fasting is invalid because he was uncertain about it and he did not affirm the intention. So the first one is intention is a major thing. In actions are judged by intention. Number two, the second fundamental we're going to speak about it today is what? Bringing harm and preventing what? Bringing benefit and preventing harm. Bringing benefit, preventing harm. This right here is your life. If you don't understand it, then you cannot go on with the usul or even the qawa'id. Okay? So let's try our best, inshallah. So he said, we're doing line 12, 13, and 14 today. So if you have the poetry, we're doing line 12, 13, and 14, inshallah. What is maslaha? So we have few things right now. Okay? Let's start. المصلحة المنفعة التي قصدها الشارع الحكيم لعباده لحفظ دينهم ونفوسهم وعقولهم ونسلهم وأموالهم. Okay, maslaha is a benefit that the legislators, who are the legislators again? Allah and His Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Allah and His Prophet. You don't have to say then. لأنه وأطيعوا الله والرسول. Okay? Allah and His Prophet. Whatever Rasul sallam is made a judgment, it's a judgment. All right? So these benefits are set by the legislators to protect 5 things mainly. Everything rotates under 5 or 6. 5 things. These are the benefits right now. Memorize them. Number 1, ad-deen, your religion. Okay? 2, in order, an-nafs, your soul. 3, al-aql, your intellect. 4, your lineage or your honor, al-ird or nasl. 5, your wealth. So everything that is said by the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is to do what? Is to protect these 5. To bring in benefit and to prevent harm. Okay, in the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. مثلا حفظ الدين. حفظ الدين. To protect religion, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala set al-jihad. Even though there is harm in it, there are people who die, there are people who lose their life, they lose their wealth, they lose their money, but it's to protect the deen if needed. Like to protect the intellect, the soul, النفس. القصاص, revenge. If a person kills someone, he should be killed for him. Why do we have to kill someone now? Because he did cause a harm. So to bring in a benefit, to prevent that harm from happening, Allah said the qisas, said the judgment or the revenge for it. Al-aql. What did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala do to prevent our intellect? Khamr, easy, wine. Allah said wine is haram. Why? To protect our intellect. Okay, that makes sense. Money. Interest is haram, stealing is haram, the punishment for stealing, and so on and so forth. Okay, to bring in benefit or to prevent harm. And then lineage, sexual intercourse and so on and so forth. All right. So everybody understand that part right here? Okay. We have few things to speak about benefits or masalih. And inshallah I'll try to explain it so I could make it easy for you. عندنا مصالح معتبرة ومصالح ملغاة ومصالح مرسلة. We have benefits that are on 3 categories. Okay? 3 categories. مصالح معتبرة يعني اعتبرها الشارع. مصالح, benefits that the legislators have considered to protect the 5 things we mentioned. And then we have masalih mulgha, We have benefits that it was cancelled by the legislators to bring in benefit or to prevent harm. And then we have masalihun mursala, public benefit that the religion did not speak about. It left it up to the people to decide whether it's a benefit or not. Okay? So we spoke about the five. طيب المصالح الملغاة مثلا, like what? What are some benefits that the Islam cancelled or legislators cancelled? ليش؟ توبة؟ هذه مصالح ملغاة؟ لا لأنه هذا لم تشرع لنا أصلا، ليس في الشرع، وليس فيها مصلحة لأنه هذا كان عقاب. A benefit, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, يسألونك ويسألونك عن الخمر والميسر. They ask you about wine and gambling. قل, say, فيهما إثم كبير. They have great harms. ومنافع للناس, and they have benefits. So even though these two things have benefit, but legislators did what? They cancel. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala canceled these because they bring in about greater harm. So Allah didn't say that wine and gambling is a bad thing and that said prevent it. He said no. Allah says, I know it has benefit. Because somebody's going to come today and say, well, wine, actually they prove that wine has a lot of benefit to some diseases or sickness. You will say, we know that. We already know that they have these benefits. But even though these benefits are there, they have greater what? Greater harm. And we're going to speak about that in a second, after we mention that. So looking at the harms and benefits came from what? From the Quran, from the Sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This is how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and it's one of the most difficult to actually understand or be able to recognize the difference between both. مثلا Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu arda, he said in the hadith, if I would to tell you what I know about the fitan, okay, the trials and afflictions and tribulation that will take place, it will cause more harm. I will lose my neck. Meaning what? I'll be killed. He was talking about Bani Umayyah and the problems that will take place after the Khilafah and the killing. He said, I know all these are going to happen, but if I speak about it now, people are not going to believe it. And the ones who are meant by these ahadith, they might do what? They cause harm. So what did he do? He decided to do what? To look for benefits and harm. Is there a benefit to speak? So there is a benefit to speak sometime, and there is a benefit to do what? To quiet. There is a benefit to speak up, and there is a benefit to be silent. Understand that? So we do. So that's why the deen is great on that. There's a very beautiful story by Yahya ibn Yahya al-Laythi, one of the great Maliki scholars. Even though the judgment was not really aligned with the madhab, but a king, he asked them a question. He said, I had a sexual intercourse with my wife in Ramadan. So what should I do? What should he do, by the way? Just curious. During the day of Ramadan, No. He has to free a slave or fast 2 consecutive months or feed. Yeah? Okay, feed. So when he came to Yahya ibn Yahya, in the Maliki madhab, we say it's a choice. The other madhab says, no, it's an order. Okay, you have to do it in order. You free a slave. If you can't, no more slavery. Allah's gone. Then you do what? Fast 2 months. Shahrain, 2 months. If you can't, then you feed. Okay? So Yahya said, no, you have to free a slave. You have to fast 2 consecutive months. They told him, what do you mean? What's the other option? He said, no, this person shouldn't be giving that option. Why? Because at that time, he has thousands of slaves. He's never going to fast Ramadan. He's going to tell you, oh, just free a slave? Here you go, free a slave and never fast. Free a slave and never fast. So he gave him, what did he look for? Benefits and harms. Okay, you see how he calculated that? Benefits and harms. المصالح المرسلة, benefits that are left to the people to distinguish based upon their need or necessity. Okay, anybody know the difference between necessity and need? Because you guys are going to need it a lot in your school. When you say, I'm going to take a loan because I'm in a desperate need, or I'm in a necessity, or I am in a luxury, which one is the three? So let's just talk about it briefly. What's a necessity? Did you get a perfume last time? Get another one, no problem. Life cannot continue without it. Or if life were to continue, it will continue with a great hardship that it might lead to harm. That's a necessity. So if you're living in a house now, 3-bedroom, okay, and you have 2 kids, is it a necessity to buy a house? Why would you need to buy a house? You understand? If you have 6 kids and you're living in a 1-bedroom, very hard to find 1-bedroom that accepts 6 kids on your lease. Yeah, it'll be hard. It'll be very hard. So a necessity, life will not continue without, or if life continues, it will continue with what? Major hardship. What's a need? Huh? No. What's a need? Huh? Means what? Could be what he said. Life will continue without it, but with hardship. Not great hardship, but hardship. Okay? I need to get a better job. I need it. Not that it's necessity. So when you're using the word in fiqh, you have to be careful, because this is going to apply to a lot of things. Can I take a loan? Are you in a necessity, dire need, or luxury? Okay, I want to buy a car because my 2020 car doesn't look good no more. So I need another car. Does he really need another car? Not necessity for sure, not even a need. This is more of a what? Luxury. That doesn't apply, the rule doesn't apply here. You can't even make things halal, haram, or haram. We'll talk about that when we get to that level. So understand that for now, okay? Understand it for now. So what could be something that is public benefit? Public benefit, the Sahaba did it. Umar ibn Khattab radiallahu anhu, he did, started a prison system. The books, collection of the Quran was a public benefit. What else could be a public benefit? Huh? Now the traffic lights are public benefit. Why? Because they protect what? Your soul. And if there was no traffic light, people who live in countries without traffic light, they know. Okay? Seriously, more accidents happen every second. Even here in Davis, when you're driving by and it's all red lights, you see how people go crazy. Nobody want to stop. The right of the way. Okay, stop sign, yield, and no right turn, no left turn. These, we cannot bring evidence that it says haram to stop at a red light or halal to stop at green. We can't. We don't even have that. What we call that what? Public benefit. What does it do? It protects the benefit. It protects the people's soul and money and so on and so forth. Okay, understand that? طيب. Actually, I don't want to go deep into the head. So everybody understand this part right here? Okay, number 13. فإن تزاحم عدد المصالح يقدم الأعلى من المصالح. This one is very important. If beneficial interest, okay, تزاحم, collide, يعني if they all come together, we're talking about benefits now. Which one should we do? We should do al-a'la. Al-a'la means what? The higher. So we should do the most profit out of all of them, the higher, the top of all of them. You should be taking it into an account. So when we come to the 5 things, let's talk about these 5 things before we move on. 5 things. What are the 5 things that we are protecting all the time? Religion. Huh? Nafs, your soul. Huh? Your intellect. Huh? your lineage or honor? Your wealth. Now, you have a thief, he wants your money or he'll kill you. You give him the money. You're protecting yourself, not protecting the money. The hadith says, وَمَنْ قُتِلَ قُتِلَ. Qutila means whoever is killed protecting his wealth, then he's a shaheed. Now we're talking about options. We have to look at the benefits. Which one is higher to protect? The deen. And then nafs. So if these collide, if these interact in a way that you have to choose one of them, then you choose them in the order. Okay? Understand that? That's number one. Deen, yes.
So why did he choose not deen?
He choose what?
Like become a shaheed.
He was killed.
Okay.
So somebody attacked him and killed him when he was protecting his money. Talk about now you have an option to protect one of the two. So إذا تزاحمت المصالح أو تعارضت فما الذي تقدم المصلحة الكبرى على المصلحة الصغرى. طيب. Let me give you a question. A person woke up 5 minutes before Fajr. He has to pray Sunnah of Fajr and he has to pray Fajr. Now, these two are benefits or no? Yes? Which benefit should he consider? Can you get the fans on? Fans on, please. Huh? Al-Fard. So you're looking at it this way. You're saying one is Fard and one is Sunnah. So Fard should come before Sunnah. Okay? Unless he has time to do both. We're talking about at a time when we have to choose between benefits, we always have to choose the higher what? The higher benefit. Let's get another example. Okay? Now.
They pray Sunnah even when the Jama'ah is going on.
Yes, I understand. Because the person who is awake, he has the permission to do that because Rasulullah said, whoever man nasiya salatan, he gave him time to fulfill the other salah, which is the fard. Yes. But based upon this qaida, the major would be the farida. Now, طيب. A person, what if both are wajib? Which one should you consider? Both are obligatory, both are wajib, both actions are wajib. Which one would you consider? Okay, so if a person says, by Allah, if I get a good grade, if I get good news right now that I passed my classes, I am going to pray 2 rak'ah before Asr. Now Asr adhan is called, the Salah is called. He has nadhr, which is a vow, and he has Asr fard, but both are wajib. Which one should he do? So he should do another. He has to fulfill it. He said it before Asr. Not immediately because he stated it. If he said I'll pray, he could pray anytime, but he stated the time.
But this before Asr time or before he prays Asr?
Before he prays Asr.
Okay, so then he should pray the.
But Asr time is going to leave out if he doesn't pray Asr. So he prays Asr and then make the nadhr. La, make the nadhr. Why? Because the salah, the 5 salah has specified time. If you miss, they're out. But the nadhr, if you miss, you could add something to it to fix it, but then you still could make it up at any time. Okay? So even in the wajib, you have to be what? Extra careful. طيب. What if the 2 actions are both sunnah? Which one should he do? We're talking about benefits now. Yalla, which one should he do? Okay, write this down. Write this down. Number one. إذا كانت السنة نفعا قاصرا, if the benefit is of individual, this is a case by case. If a benefit is an individual benefit over a societal benefit, the societal benefit always takes precedence. Okay? Shaykh ibn Uthaymeen alayhi rahmatullah, he finished Salat al-Maghrib, he came late to the Haram, he had dars to give. So he finished Salat al-Maghrib, they finished Salat al-Maghrib, he came late, he prayed Salat al-Maghrib, he sat on the chair, he started giving the dars. So the students asked him a question, they said, Ya Shaykh, we didn't see you praying the Sunnah after Maghrib. He said, you were there already, I was already late for Maghrib. He said, teaching you is fardu kifaya. Praying the Sunnah is Sunnah for me. So which one is more beneficial? Fardu al-kifaya, because you're benefiting the whole over yourself. فإذا تعرف والنبي صلى الله عليه وسلم يقول لأن أمشي في حاجة أقضيها خير من اعتكاف في مسجدي هذا شهر. He said, if I go with someone to help him through his struggle or to finish something for someone, is more beloved to me than praying here or sitting here in this masjid, his masjid sallallahu alaihi wasallam, 1 month doing i'tikaf. Okay? So sometime if you pray and somebody needs you or somebody wants you to give them a ride and you want to pray sunnah, give the ride. If you could make up the sunnah, go ahead and make it up. But looking at both, right now, tazahamat. You're squeezed in time. You're busy with time to do both. Which one are you going to choose? We're not talking about you have 3 hours to do. Khalas, give him a ride, then pray the sunnah. We're talking about time is very busy upon you, like you're squeezed in. Okay? Another thing is, benefits of the closer is more beneficial than those who are farther from you. So benefit those who are closer to you takes precedence over those who are what? Farther away. Okay? Al-amalu bil-mafdul. طيب. What if both actions, when do I act upon عمل مفضول على عمل فاضل? Yalla, I need answer. When do you act upon an action that is less virtual or less beneficial or less rewarded than another action? Preventing harm. But both are good actions. Fish harm prevented. Which one, okay, which one is better? Let me give you an example. Which one is better? Dhikr or recitation of Quran? Alhamdulillah. Huh? Recitation of Quran because it's the words of Allah, no doubt. So dhikr is level under recitation of Quran. When does dhikr become a level higher than the recitation of Quran? Now you have two benefits. Huh? When it's recommended by sunnah time. Like you could repeat. Aywa. No, okay, so number one. إذا كان الأمر المأمور به مخصوص في موطن. If it's specified for a time or a place. يعني مثلا, when we go to ruku', what should we say? سبحان ربي العظيم, سبحان ربي العظيم, سبحان ربي العظيم. Saying that dhikr or reciting a surah of the Quran. But in this position, dhikr is more than recitation of the Quran, even though it's less in reward. Understand that? Are you guys with me or you're lost? Yeah, good? Okay, I hope, inshallah. Huh? The day of Arafah? What about the day of Arafah? Yeah, it's all dhikr. The best of dhikr is La ilaha illallah. I'm talking about everything, all the adhkar, because it's not specified, but the specified one is La ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lah, lahul mulku wa lahul hamdu ala kulli shay'in qadir. Naam?
or maybe your attention is somewhat like
Could be, if that's the part. Which one is better, dhikr or salah? Salah, no doubt. Yes? When does dhikr become better than salah? Or even in a replacement of salah? أو المنهية عنها. The time of dislike to pray. Like what? When are you dislike to pray? Yeah, between إيش? Yeah, between Asr and Maghrib, يعني till sunset, and after Fajr to Shuruq. Yes? That time for me is better to do what? Dhikr than Salah. So I'm choosing the less virtue over the higher. Because of what? Time, for example. That's 2. 3. If the heart is connected to an action more than another, if you get softened by recitation of the Quran, somebody else gets softened by the adhkar. So that takes precedence because that improves his iman more than the action itself, even though it has more virtue. Because the benefit to your heart is more important than the reward itself. Because if you move up with your heart, you could get to the level of reciting Quran with your heart. واضح هذه? Understand that? No. الله يتقبل يا رب. Okay. I think this is a little important. If the action itself, okay, has a benefit more than another action that brings no benefit, or even it softens the hearts of others, تأليف القلوب. It removes harms. مثلا تأليف القلوب. If you're going to pray somewhere, you go to a Hanafi masjid, okay? They respect you so much. Up to leading salah. If you say Allahu Akbar and you go Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, you get them off. And if you say Ameen, you get them off. So I'm going to leave these two believing that they are what? A sunnah. So can I leave a sunnah for a benefit? How? La, not to please other people. No, you don't want to please anybody. Leaving the sunnah is a sunnah if there is a benefit till a period of time. One of the benefit is to get the love of others so it doesn't cause more harm. Okay? And this is actually from the wisdom. There was a sheikh, he went to somewhere, Malaysia or somewhere, anyway. And they believe that the Shafi'i madhab is the deen. Like they believe Shafi'i madhab is without it, you're not even a Muslim. So this sheikh, he started salah, Allahu Akbar, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. What did he miss here? Basmala. And Basmala in the Shafi'iyya are wajib. So if you miss Basmala, you have to do what? Sajda sahu. And if you missed it on purpose, you have to do what? You have to make up the salah. So after they finished, after the sheikh, and the sheikh is known, after he made Assalamu they all got up and they redid their salah, and then they were making dua against him in the last rak'ah, qunut. صحيح. كيف يخالف المذهب. So out of wisdom, to bring in benefit, you need to do what here? Leave the sunnah for a greater benefit. For a period of time, tell you, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, I'll tell you one. What is more important in salah? Khushu', focus, tranquility, or movement? Khushu'. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam on the minbar, he prayed 2 rak'ah. He stood up on the minbar, and his minbar are 3 steps facing the people. And then he made ruku', and then he got down from the minbar, made sujood, then he got up, got back on the minbar, and then, so what did he do here, sallallahu alaihi wasallam? He moved. Now, his movement here was for a greater benefit to do what? To teach. To teach people how to pray when moving, huh? كيف؟ حتى يعلم الناس الصلاة، كيفية رؤية النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم في الصلاة. And he wanted to show them how to pray a certain way. But now, the Prophet ﷺ left the khushu'. But he never, how many times he did that? Once, twice, to teach people. Khalas, done. So he left something more important for something not even less important. Sometimes could get into the dislike, karahat, to do what? To teach. So that's the second reason. And he used to do that. He used to rush with salah when he hears a child cry, he says for his mother, even though he liked to pray long. Sometimes you leave the mustahab, even the recommended, for a greater benefit, that you don't fall into dislikes. Kissing the black stone is a sunnah or not? Yes? No? Of course. Rasulullah said, if you touch it and kiss it, it will witness for you in the day of judgment for every person who kissed it. So this is one of the recommended acts in Umrah and Hajj. So to get to the black stone today, you have to hit at least 10 people. So I am going to fulfill the sunnah. By the time I get to the sunnah, I'm going to cause what? More harm. So I have to do what now? Leave the sunnah. So a lot of people, they come to you, astaghfirullah, you want me to leave the sunnah? Leaving the sunnah for a sunnah. Number one, again, مثلا, long hair is a sunnah or not? Sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Okay, in some countries it's not. It's act of people who are misbehaving, especially when it's very long. In Egypt it was like that. A guy saw someone wearing the red ghutra, the Saudi wear, and his hair was coming out of it, and he had a beard. I was sitting with an old man in the store. He spit at him when he was crossing by, and he told me, look. How could he have a beard and it looks like a woman from that? This is men, this is women. Now, if I come into a city where this is a custom, I should not grow my hair long and get on the minbar and give a khutbah. That's not wisdom. So the benefit here is to do what? To leave the act for a greater benefit that might cause to get people to respect, and then you could teach them the sunnah. Is that clear now? Yes? Okay. So these are some things that you need to leave the sunnah for. Basmala al-Fatiha, al-Jahr, or the other way around. Okay. Imam Ahmad يقول أن يكون العمل المفضول يقول انظر إلى ما هو أصلح لقلبك فافعله. Imam Ahmad, somebody asked him, which one should I do? He said, look what is more beneficial to your heart, and then you could do it. Now, a woman praying in her house is better or praying in a masjid? Let me ask the sisters. Huh? In your house? Here you go. Bismillah. In the back. Oh, malish. In the house or in the masjid? Wrong. House is better? We need to use this fundamental. We have two benefits now. Her coming to a masjid and her praying in the house. Her prayer in the house is better for her than in the masjid. Now, what about Ramadan, for example, Taraweeh? Now we will look at it and say, she's going to come, she's going to pray 11 rak'ah, she might not be able to pray it at home, she'll get lazy, she might listen to a lecture and benefit. She sees other sisters to encourage her to read Quran or do good. And we're not talking about sisters who are coming to waste time in the masjid. I'm talking about the benefit. There is more benefit in her coming than her staying at the house. Even though the overall rule says what? Their home is better. But now we're preferring what is less better, in a sense, than what is higher. For what? For a greater benefit. Is that clear? We're still talking about when benefits are تزاحمت. Because Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam يقول صلاة المرأة في بيتها أحفظ لها. It's more more modest for her than he said Salatul al-Mar'ati in her family's masjid is better than the public masjid. And before they used to have Rasulullah's masjid, and every tribe has their masjid. So if they get late, they pray there. Rasulullah said praying in that masjid for women is better than praying in Rasulullah's masjid. And praying in her house is better than praying in her own masjid. That's closer to her house. And praying in her room is better than praying in the living room. So more modest. للمرأة حياء. And then, but in another hadith, he says, do not prevent women from going what? To the masajid. So what do we understand from this hadith? That we're looking at what? Benefit and harm. Benefit and benefit. Greater benefit. When is more beneficial for her to come to the masjid? When is more beneficial for her to stay at home? And then you calculate. Yes? Okay, then you're scaling between two benefits. One is higher than the other, but the one that is less has more benefit to you than the one that has more higher benefit. Then you take that. That's what it says. طيب, well, we have 9 minutes. وضده تزاحم المفاسد. I don't know if we could even finish that. Okay, number 14. The other principle is, on the other side, if harms collide, then the least harmful will be taken into an account. Now this is opposite from benefit. مثلا, we have two. إذا تزاحمت المفاسد ارتكب أقلها مفسدة وترك الأكبر. If the two are harmful and you have to. So the first option, if we have two things that are evil or harmful, we should try to do what? Prevent both. We can't. We have to fall into one. So we fall into the least. We don't say let's go for the major. Okay, the least harm. It should be the one looked at to prevent from it. مثلا Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said يسألونك عن الشهر الحرام قتال فيه قل قتال فيه كبير. Stop here. وصد عن سبيل الله. That's a different statement, by the way. الوصل هنا الأولى القطع. تمام. What happened in this story? They went to fight. They found the man who was a rebellion against the Prophet ﷺ, and he's fighting them, so they killed him. When they killed him on the first day of Rajab. Rajab is a sacred month. Okay? So now, committing a minor evil or sin, the disbelievers told them, oh, you're fighting in al-Shahr al-Haram, the sacred month. How dare you? You're claiming you're Muslims, you're good people, but you're fighting in the sacred month? So they came to Rasulullah ﷺ very sad because they fought in the sacred month, Rajab. قال الله عز وجل يسألونك عن الشهر الحرام قتال فيه قل قتال فيه كبير. They say, yes, fighting in it is a great sin. But the fitna, والفتنة أشد من القتل. But the fitna that these people were causing is greater than al-qatl, killing. So both are harmful, but they had to commit what? The least harmful to prevent the major harmful. That is not something you could do easily. You cannot just calculate yourself. You have to ask somebody to do it for you. Maybe benefits are easier, but when it comes to harm, because everybody's going to tell you, this is least harmful for me. I'm going to go with that because it's least harmful. But it's actually, in reality, it's not the least harmful. They give example, the most clear example is Sulh al-Hudaybiyah, for example. The Treaty of al-Hudaybiyah. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, listen to this condition. If a Muslim comes to you, Muhammad, from Mecca, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, you have to send him back. And if a Muslim comes from you, leaving Islam to Quraysh, they don't have to send him back. What do you guys think of that condition? That's kufr. Can you imagine somebody coming to the Prophet say, I want to become Muslim, and Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam says what? Nope, go back. Even Sahaba couldn't take that. But the Prophet ﷺ agreed to such a condition to do what? To prevent a major harm. the treaty. And by the way, somebody could say, well, he just signed that because he knew it's not going to happen. Let me surprise you. It actually happened while they were signing. Abu Basir, okay, came and he said, Ya Rasulullah, I came to you and I'm a Muslim now. He said, we just signed the contract. He's like, what? He's like, I have to send you back. He said, you're going to send me back? Boom, he escaped. And he was the reason that the treaty was broken with the Sahaba. Another person, the son of Suhail ibn Amr himself, okay? His son, the one who signed the contract, he came. He said, Ya Rasulullah, Alhamdulillah, I escaped. He said, you escaped from who? He said, my father. He said, your father's right there. And I just signed the treaty with him that I have to send you back. He said, you going to send me back? He said, yeah. He looked at Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and by the time Rasulullah was turning, he ran away. And they made a little gang on the sea shore, and they were blocking the caravan for the kuffar. So now, the condition that the Prophet signed is a condition that is what? Harmful, evil. But now he's signing an evil condition to prevent an evil, a greater harm. Okay? But again, this is not up to us because this will be a little complicated to do. Type someone who sees, مثلا, he's close to death. Okay? Type, let me give you, this one is easy, you guys all know that. You remember the guy, do you remember not the guy, astaghfirullah, the Sahabi, he's a Bedouin, who came to the Prophet ﷺ and he urinated at the masjid? Is that harm? Yes? But the Prophet ﷺ said, لا تزرموه. He says, do not run after him. Do not cut off his urination. Why? Because that's going to create a bigger harm. Number one, it might create a harm to the person. Because if you stop yourself from relieving yourself, like urinating, and you stop, it might actually cause you kidney problems. It might cause you a lot of health issues. So the Prophet ﷺ says, do not stop him to prevent what? Bigger harm. Even though what he was doing in the masjid is clear harm. You understand now? There is no way to prevent both harms. The other thing is, if he runs in the masjid, he's going to run all over the place. So that's going to create higher. That's why they say, Al-Amru bil-Ma'ruf. Listen to this very careful. Commanding people to do good should always be with goodness. وَالنَّهْيُ عَنِ الْمُنْكَرِ بِشَرْطِ أَلَّا يُؤَدِّيَ إِلَى مَا هُوَ أشد منه نكارة. الأمر بالمعروف بمعروف. You should command people to do good with good. And you should not prevent evil if it leads to more evil. If it's going to lead to more evil, then you should not prevent the evil. Let it go. Shaykh al-Islam ibn Taymiyyah is the best. 3 people I want to give you your name if you care to read their books, if it's translated. Ibn Taymiyyah, in the Benefits. Ibn al-Qayyim, Al-Izz ibn Abd al-Salam. Al-Izz ibn Abd al-Salam has a great book called Al-Masalih. Okay? And I think the name, the actual, I'll give it to you. They wrote about these benefits in that sense, in a sense of what is more beneficial and what is harm. Ibn Taymiyyah, he was walking by and he saw the Mongolians invaders. They were drunk or they were drinking. So somebody told him, he said, Ya Sheikh, shouldn't we go and advise them not to because they were new to Islam? He said, no, you shouldn't. He said, why? He said, because if they wake up, they'll start killing Muslims. So let them be drunk. Now, drinking is evil or no? No doubt. Why didn't he stop the evil? Because there is more evil that is going to be caused. So sometimes, مثلا, if you saw dead meat in the middle of nowhere and you're hungry, you're dying, should you eat it or not? Now you're going to eat it. You're commanded to commit evil to save what? More harm, because you might die, and it's haram if you kill yourself. Is that clear now? Let me give you cases. Bismillah. Let's do some quick cases, inshallah, in 1 minute. In 1 minute, I'll try. Yeah, because when we're late now, khalas, we have to. A woman died and she is pregnant. Should we open up her stomach to get the baby out or not? MashaAllah. After one class, you're all fuqaha. Yes, without hatta thinking. لا, hold on. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam يقول إن كسر عظم الميت المؤمن ميتا مثل كسره حيا. Causing harm to a person who died, like breaking a bone of somebody who died. That's why people who wash the dead body should be careful. Breaking his bone when he died, as a Muslim died, is like breaking his bone if he's alive. So how could you open up her womb, her stomach? Isn't that harm? Number one, what's the first thing we need to do? Huh? La. Number one, you need to affirm that there is a life, because you cannot be doubtful. Okay? It has to be can we affirm it today? Of course, ultrasounds and all of that. So the ultrasound says that the baby inside the mother's womb is alive. Now, opening up the mother is what? Harm, evil, haram. We're going to commit it for what reason? To save a baby. Okay? To save a baby. So you're doing, because there is a benefit and there's also preventing harm. What harm are you preventing? Killing an innocent soul. Okay? طيب. A mother is pregnant. The doctor says the baby is harmful to the mother, that if she keeps, she'll die, most likely. Who should we sacrifice in this case? Let me ask the sisters, they'll be more merciful. أشد رحمة. Huh? Bismillah. Who should you? The baby. We have two harms. We have to commit one of the harms. لابد ان احنا عندنا ايه؟ مفاسد. المفسدتان إما قتل المرأة أو قتل الغلام. Both مفسدة. Which one is a certain life? You're certain that they have a living life. The mother, she's already alive. The baby is what? A doubt. Maybe this baby could die when they're giving birth. This baby could die in her womb. Any reason happens, صح? So what do we say here? Number one, we keep what is certain. Number two, we commit the minor harm, the evil. أقل المفسدة. ما هي أقل المفسدة هنا? قتل الجنين, killing the baby for the life of the mother. You understand that? So we could use this as a benefit. One more and I'll stop, inshallah. I'll finish next time. Okay, I don't want to. One second. تعارض ودرء المفسدة. لا, هذه we'll leave it to the last time. لا, خلينا في تعارض المفسدتين بس. ماشي. شق بطن المرأة هذه تكلمنا عنها خلاص. طيب خلاص let's stop. خلاص. جزاكم الله خير. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك حتى لا نأتي بمفسدة. So we don't cause more. جزاكم الله خير. بارك الله فيكم. السلام عليكم.